Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's chatting and drawing stream on this lovely Friday afternoon. I am Sanis, your Foxboy VTuber / elder millennial, here fighting against bringing up the average age of VTubers by 10 years at least. Dying inside every time it happens. I haven't done one of these in a while. It's been like a month or so. So hopefully I remember how to go about and do it, how to draw. I haven't drawn it in like a month. I bring shame to my drawing senpai. Luckily, I think my drawing senpai is busy today, so they won't see this. Oh my god, I forgot to do a couple things like move my microphone so I don't hit it with my pen. Pop, 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 pop. Got some nice background music going from Zuki Suzuki, lovely creator of copyright-free background music, which I greatly appreciate. So today, with two goals really. Just wanted to have a chatting stream. I haven't had one in a while, and get some drawing practice in. Talk about some topics. See how far we get on all those different fronts. First thing I want to talk about. I made a new overlay. Happy Friday. Oh no, my drawing senpai is here. Oh hell. Oh no. So I got a new overlay. I'm still working out some of the kinks with it. And chat box. No way that's the chat box. Chat box. Oh, it's just locked. Okay. Let's see if we get this up a little bit there. Well, the first word is going to clip it. The problem with this angle. So this chat box, this overlay is new. It's a new overlay. I've been working on it through the week. It's coming along. I feel like I started off with a strong sense of what I wanted out of this overlay. Here, what I wanted out of this overlay, but like as I'm putting together, I'm not sure. Like it's been over a month since my last chatting stream, even longer for drawing, based on my thumbnail art folder. But you know what I can do? Let me see if I find. Let me just show the different overlays I've been working on. I can just drag them into OBS here. So I've been working on a couple of these, and so my main one, right? Fresh overlay. So I have. Let's see if this fails. I'm not sure what it's going to do for chat. So if you die chat, I'm so sorry. So we have the main game streaming one over here. Oh, chat's still there. Ooh, what a relief. What the heck? What did I just move? I just grabbed something randomly and it moved. YouTube Studio, so on. Am I still over here? So I got this one. The process I went through was kind of like, I started by looking up kind of what art style. Oh, I have no. The bottom of my cell is cut off. What art style I was looking for, and from there I started. Oh, you know what's gonna be better? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna move myself over here, and then we're gonna go back to this window. Make sure I'm not gonna, as we say in the business, hella dox myself. By chance I hella dox myself, but you know what? That's life, isn't it? I don't think I see a perfect use case. This shouldn't dox me. I don't think there's anything on this in this screen. So let me go to that is window capture. Oh, don't. Whenever you use capture, don't do that. I think designer automatic. That's right. Oh my god. Oh wow. So OBS does this privacy thing where it's like on some screens, like this one, it doesn't actually show the content of the file, which is what I'm trying to share here. It's like, thanks, buddy. Thanks. I mean, I appreciate it. All right, we're just gonna do full screen share and pray. Full screen share and pray, everybody. Which is gonna be this one, and then that's me, right? Means a quick double check here. Perfect. Here we go. Let's go through the art project. Bam. There we go. Ha. Drawing, chatting, and going through Affinity Designer instead of actually drawing, so I'm not ready to draw yet. So my new overlay. We've got wrong view. Let's go to this view, and we've got. So I have to make it for 3 different screen sizes, 3 resolutions, and this is kind of why I went down the path originally, way back with my previous overlay. Was I have a non-standard screen size, both for my ultra-wide monitor, seen here, and for my iPad for drawing. So I wanted something I could like adjust on myself on the fly. So we've got, turn this one off, and turn alert off. So we got this one, that design here, currently on the screen. The actual like inspiration I took, I was Googling, I really like the 90s anime aesthetic for some of my recent 80s, 90s and recent commissioned artwork. And so I was looking for what is a similar aesthetic from that era I could pull from for making an overlay. And I found some modern reinterpretations, which would be these posters, which are definitely modern. And I'm pretty sure they're not AI generated. I'm going to say like 85% certain they're not AI generated. But it was hard finding anime sci-fi overlays from this era that weren't just Akira. They were all Akira. It's like you Google 80s or 90s sci-fi retro anime, and it's like, here's your still shots from Akira. And I'm like, I like it. It's not quite for me. So I got these like kind of 80s retro future style posters. And from them, I just started pulling some of the visual elements out. One is the, actually not from the posters, for my profile picture I like, is the stippling. So the halftone gradient, I really like a lot. And I got all the colors from this profile picture. There's a handy, just like, you click it and you're just like, generate palette from, here we go, create palette from image. And you're just like, I would like, select, I'm not going to select the image that has my name probably. And just like, please pull out every single color as a swatch and let me just swatch it up. Very handy, especially the eyes. There's a lot of colors in the eyes. If you zoom in real deep there. This is, I would love to be able to draw at this level. I'm not there yet. So I pulled out like some of the cross hatching lines, like for my schedule, I pulled out like this element for like little boxes. Some of the like frame shapes. I like the frame shapes a lot. With like some of these lines coming in. I don't have a bust to put over the edge of my frame. That's a bit unnecessary. I like the kind of, I really like the bright bold colors, but as I was making the overlay, I was like, I can't have like this be, I should actually select it. I can't have this like big overlay be like pink or like magenta, like, where's my fluorescent, like, or fluorescent magenta, which I really like as a color, just because like, you can't be looking at that for any length of time. Your eyes will start to go. So let's undo that, put back, and hide my inspiration. So my one layer, whenever I get into this, what are you doing, bud? I know this is a drawing, I'll be drawing, but I think I just like vector programs a lot more. That's what I initially learned on in 2002. Was vector art, Adobe Illustrator at the time, still Adobe Illustrator, I suppose. But Affinity Designer, great alternative to Photoshop and design and Illustrator. I'd have a hell of a time finding an alternate for Flash. Sorry, crunching some ice unconsciously. And then so for the 1080p one, kind of same design, kind of shrunk the base down and add like a little sidebar. I really like this little pink stripe I added in. Big fan of that. Then for the iPad, I kind of just chucked it all together. And so that kind of made the new base of the overlay. From the overlay, I was able to then make the schedule template. Schedule template, look at that. Including a new logo, or at least a logo for the template. And like I showed this to people who are used to seeing stream schedules, and they're like, "Oh, this is great." I showed it to a friend who is not good, who's not used to looking at stream schedules, and he's like, "This is too much to take in." And like, I kind of get it. As a visualization, there's a lot of information and a lot of visual detail, but since it's gonna be a template I'm using for a couple months at least, I'm fine with it. It's like, how do you encode information visually that's aesthetically pleasing? It's like, oh my God, this is cutting too close to my actual job. It's my schedule dashboard. And then this guy, my lovely face here, I'll be updating with like different artwork, like the T artwork. I really like this 90s T. Oh, 90s T artwork a lot. Or the baking one. Oh no, it's off screen. Or the baking one. I struggled with that because like I can either add more drop shadow. More drop shadow is one option. The other option is the problem is like black as a text. Like I still like the black as a text. Let's try to. Okay, it's not drop. It's actually a glow, not a drop shadow. I'm sorry, I lied. It's outer shadow. Let's see, shadow. Add a little bit offset. Oh no, not like 500 pixel offset. Navy blue. Like navy blue for the font versus black stripe. I like the green too much. I'm too attached to the green. And it's like inverted. Ooh. So I'm not going to be updating it. It's like, I'm at the point where like, there's 10 elements that are used as color. Oh, navy for the font. Oh, okay, I can take a look. That one I can take a look at. Not the glow. The glow makes it muddy. Sure. I don't really want the font to switch between the whatchamacallit. So I could make it a white. Ugh. Ugh. Not the reaction I want to have. I'll leave it for now. It's not ideal. Not perfect. I should put in like schedule's fine. I always forget, like, making the schedule, making the overlays, relatively easy, relatively simple and straightforward. I know, so I'm just gonna leave it at white and call it good. Like, wash my hands. When I put it on Blue Sky, I type out the schedule. If people are really using the schedule that deeply, where it becomes a problem, it's a sign of success. The one that was the damnedest was getting my starting screens going. This one, I like almost crashed out at this point. I almost crashed out. I still, for the life of me, have not found a good keyframe animation software that isn't an Adobe product and doesn't cost like $500. I just want like simple tweening, simple keyframe animation. Give me some transparent layers and don't make the UI impossible to use. Like I want Flash circa 2004 is what I want in my heart to make this, animate this. Because the actual animation, I might lose my... I think my phone set up on my other screens. So I'll go for a second, but you can see the animation that I just moved the stripes along. Right, it looks like this. That was hell. That was hell on earth to animate. Because like the best free software I've found so far is made for film and not animation. So it was doing some things that I deeply resented. Like I had I think to the pixel, right? Like this needs to move 46.3 pixels to the right to loop. And I'm like, great, over 2 seconds, move 46.3 pixels to the right and then loop. And it's like, I want to add one extra frame buffer on the end of every clip to make it look more cinematographic. I'm just like, no. For the love of God, don't do that. Please don't add an extra frame to the end of the clips, which is why I think my old getting started and old chat. Oh, actually, my chatting background has it. I'm sorry, chatting background yet. I'm so sorry. This background stars, there's a slight hitch in it. Right about there, I think. Because of that extra frame that gets added that I didn't know about when I made this. So like in program, like it looks great. Then I was like looking at this background, I'm just like, oh man, there's a one frame hitch. I think the loop is hard. Back to my drawing screen. Here. Okay. So I just want a simple, There's a couple more I'll try next time, like Open Tunes is one, Moho is another. I'll pay $60, but I just want Affinity to make me an animation software. That's all I want. Let me make a vector base, let me tween things, and that's all I want. That's all I want. I almost looked at using Blender or Godot to do it and just like use a full game engine to animate 48 frames. In retrospect, I should have done it in a pixel editor and just made 48 frames and then just like compiled them together as a GIF myself. Learned my lesson, I suppose. So that's a new overlay. I still have some things to do. I still want to pick out or consider new intro music. Maybe not. Might iterate it. I will say I like it and I wanted something new. So I got that goal there, but I'm not like in love with it. I feel like it's not quite, I like the colors. I like the design elements a lot. The color palette with like the pinks and the blues and the greens, I think is wonderful. But it's missing a little something. It's missing some soul. It's missing some soul from it. So I'll keep it for a bit. And then in a couple months, might think about updating it again to something. I think what I really want like an Art Nouveau overlay. I think that's what my heart wants. My heart just wants Art Nouveau overlay style, but like, I can't make that myself. I can't make Art Nouveau art that's so detailed and intricate. I want my overlay that says, this is made with rich mahogany, fancily carved with like little leaves and florets and vines sweeping by and some stained glass motifs. I have to pay someone for that. Scratch paper. We're down here. Close this off. Oh, I didn't mean to close that, but I guess I am closing it. Yes, please save everything I modified. Let's go back to iPad. So that'll be a future overlay probably, or overlay my heart, overlay my dreams. It would look something like get my overlay, and kind of like, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it, it's almost reminiscent of like Diablo 2, where you'd have like some sort of like crystal ball for chat over here, some sort of crystal ball for like my avatar. You have some like twiny vines coming through, motifs. And then like some sort of, I want my overlay to be a Diablo 2 interface UI. Or like the Baldur's Gate 2 menu. A little viney, a little elfy. Some like stained glass. Actually, you can't have stained glass for chat background. That wouldn't work at all. But that's a future commission probably. To pay somebody and then pay them to animate it, because by God, I'm like 2 hours in a banging my head against animated. I'm like, I should have spent $15 and paid someone to do this. What am I doing? What am I doing with myself here? So here we are. Thank you for the tour. Going to the tour of my overlay to procrastinate drawing. I need to move something on my desk here. All right, let's see. Look at my to-do. I have my to-dos for chatting and drawing. What I want to draw are more chibis in the style above. I figured that's pretty good. I like using them as emotes in Discord, and so I'm looking at like, I made a list of like, what are a bunch of emotes I commonly use that could have a me version of. And I can sell eventually a $1 emote pack. I would never sell it. Well, I probably wouldn't sell it. I'm going through a major reorg in my workplace, so I'm not sure what my job's going to be by the end of next week. And I assume I'll still have it in some form or another. I think it's getting a lot more corporate and a lot more enterprise, which kind of spooks me up a little bit. I'm moving into an operations org, and it's just, and it's going to be, I think I'm about to enter like further from our actual products that we make and closer to just like the gears and machinery of a large corporation. And part of me is like, I don't know if my soul, what little fragments remain of my work Sona soul can survive this. We'll see though. I'm still getting paid. So, you know. If I start streaming 5 hours a day, every day of the week, you will know I got laid off. I was about to use my Apple Pen to try to write on my actual piece of paper here. Where'd my pen go? Oh no, move my iPad. iPad don't spin. It's my daily planner. I found it. This goes to a topic I saw mentioned like TikTok or somewhere about hobby monetization and how like millennials were kind of like I have a friend who posts on YouTube. He and another friend just started a new podcast together, a new video podcast that I'm gonna admit here because they're not watching. I haven't watched yet. I have 2 episodes out. I haven't watched it. I apologize for nothing. They didn't invite me to join them. I see how it is. So it's. Otherwise, no, I don't know any YouTubers in the flesh as it were. Unless, I don't know, everyone's probably uploaded something to YouTube at some point in their history, call themselves a YouTuber. Apparently, there's no qualification. You can just call yourself a YouTuber. You don't have to actually like get board certified or anything. It's like becoming a podcaster. You just need a microphone. You need a microphone. Get 3 white guys together and a microphone. Bam, baby, you got a podcast. I'm glad. me having a chatting stream where I don't actually draw anything. Who would ever have a podcast? That's ridiculous. I think it's the editing part. It's the editing part podcast that would absolutely kill me. I've not heard the game Gorilla Tag, and it sounds probably not up my alley. Let's the Gorilla part. Again. Hope it's not too loud when I actually bash my microphone with my pen. Look at the sound levels in OBS. It's probably fine. Okay. Yeah, and so editing videos, editing podcasts, my friends are doing it. I've watched some of the clips they've made of our gameplay together where I hear my own voice and like I want to watch the clip for because it's a funny moment. I'm going to enjoy it. I just have to suffer through hearing my own voice, and it's like I'm getting better at it, but I'm still traumatized for the first time since I heard my own voice in earnest. Was like, what was it? 7th grade, we were doing a audio play production of 12 Angry Men in the drama elective class. And as part of that, we had to listen to it at the end after it was done. And so I had to hear my own voice in 7th grade. By the way, if you're in 7th grade and you're going through puberty, the last thing you want to do, and you're already self-conscious about literally everything about yourself, is hear your own voice. I mean, I understand why he did it. And like, I think a little more exposure therapy over the years probably would have been good for hearing my own voice. But it was a deep jump scare I was not ready for. I was not emotionally mature enough to hear my own voice. It was at the awkward point where like everyone else, especially all the women, had already started their growth spurts and were already like a foot taller than they were. Most were like, 6 inches to a foot taller than they were like a couple years ago. And I was like 5'2" at the time. I think I was like 5'2". The same weight I am now. I was a foot shorter. The same weight I am now. 7th grade. Oh man, it was rough. That was a rough time. And then I hear my own voice. I'm just like, that's it. I'm done in. I am done for. I'm just gonna end it all here and just turn to dust. Oh, good. Yeah, I can't picture. There's no pictures of it. Burned all those photos. Spent my lunch breaks playing Magic the Gathering in the math room with a couple other people. No. Oh. What a terrible time. Just, we're not going back to there ever. Thank you. Something I had to do recently is hear my own voice. And it's why I don't make clips or edits of myself, even though like, if I want to grow my channel as part of growth marketing, I need to be like making funny clips and uploading funny clips and growing that way. I'm just like, nah, man, I ain't here to monetize my hobby. I'm here to have fun. And that's it. Research equipment and animation software. I just like researching technical things to make decisions. It's really fun. And then I have to actually like do it and be like, okay, I spent how much money on this Apple Pen and this iPad to learn to draw? Maybe I should do it. It's been half an hour. I've drawn nothing on this iPad yet. I think everyone was awkward as a teenager, but somehow like the eternal curse of being a teenager is you think you're the only one. I don't miss it. People who like reminisce or say like, oh, X years are the best years of my life. I'm like, no. The best years of my life are right now. And the next year and the year after that. Just make it keep going better. Don't don't peak in middle school. That's not the way to go. Don't peak in middle school. It's not the time to peak. The time to peak is today, unless you're in middle school right now, which you probably shouldn't be. Oh, same like high school, like best years of life. You're like, no. It's like college. I'm like, you know what? College was fun. I enjoyed parts of college. I took way too many advanced physics classes to not really do anything besides study. But it was fun. Would I go back and do it again? No. Do I want to do physics problem sets again? No. Do I want to live within walking distance of my friends though? 100%. Well, 95%. 5% cost restrictions. 95%, tons of fun. Graduate school, man, first 2 years of graduate school, it was so fun. It was just it was an absolute blast, those first 2 years of grad school. Then I had to lock in for 3 years straight and finish. Oh, that was a 3-year long lock-in. Don't lock in for 3 years. After 1 year, you should see a doctor if you're still locking in. I have many things I'm humble about. I just avoid talking about them. Oh man, middle school. I got photos somewhere. There are photos that do exist and I do own them. One, they'll never be shown on stream because I'm not going to show my photos of myself on stream. Two, it was rough. I dressed so badly. I dressed so poorly, and not even like cringe nerdy poorly, just poorly. I went to undergrad for physics and astrophysics, and I have a PhD in geophysics. I'm on that science PhD, the VTuber pipeline. It's insidious. It's an insidious pipeline they never tell you about. Dare told me all about hard drugs, never told me about the VTuber pipeline. You start off and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make this little chibi of myself. You're like, oh, maybe I'll try streaming. And all of a sudden you're a fox boy on the internet, and you have little teeth and fangs that you see occasionally in your model, and you're commissioning artwork for it. And you look back and you look at your wall behind you that has a PhD on, and you're like, oh shit, man. Am I a doctor? And then you remember that because you use it as all the time as a joke until your friends get sick and tired of it, and they're like, Sandish, please, we get it. We get it. Stop asking us to call you Dr. Sandish all the time. I try not to do it too often. I think I got burned by too many people being like hoity-toity, be like, oh, I have a PhD. I'm just like, oh my God, please stop. This is cringe and it's killing me inside. It just takes time and effort. It's not like you're not a better person. The sheer opportunity cost, oof, that's something I deeply don't ever want to think about, as the opportunity cost of going to graduate school. All right, okay, I'm gonna start looking at my list here of. Okay, so we're draw some circles. Let's draw a box. Draw a box. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. So I have my Chibis over here. So I have a couple references. I realized I needed to make a reference template, so I kept repasting my reference sheet and my Chibis here on new Procreate pages. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just make one that I don't draw on top of and just duplicate it. Look at that workflow improvement. Improving workflows in personal life and in work. I have to look at one more goddamn workflow usability dashboard. For something that has 4 users, I'm going to tear my, well, I'm not going to tear my hair out. I just got to cut. I will probably just heave a deep, deep sigh and hope my microphone is off at the time. It would sound like this. It sound like as we spend 35 minutes looking at a workflow that has 5 users per quarter. All right, take this reference off. Wrong reference. Take this reference. Yes, if there's one thing I can be honest about myself, I never mind people asking me questions about myself. It's my toxic trait. If I have a couple toxic traits, probably that's one of them. I think everyone. Let me talk about me. I love it so much. It's like, oh, you want to ask questions about me? Oh, well, I won't. I'm just a little shy. I'm not sure I can talk about myself for very long. 6 hours later. All right, move my notepad a little bit. Oh, Lord. Sorry, I just got like a bunch of messages came out at once. What the heck happened? Oh, you know what? I think I accidentally hit some hotkey that just what the heck happened to stream chat? My stream chat is something that just wild a bit. We're gonna ignore it, move on. I think I auto sorted my messages. Oh, am I the most? See, I don't think I'm that interesting. I think that's my weird, personal mystery dichotomy. Is like, I think for the longest time, I didn't think I was interesting. I thought I was boring. I thought like, oh, no one would be interested in hearing about me. And so I was like, I saw it phrased recently. It's like, if you're like in a gifted and talented kid sort of thing, and like, you're like, oh, you want to be like praised by adults for being good. You make yourself not take up space. And part of that is like not talking or not saying things about yourself. And I think I mentioned this on stream before. And then I realized like 5 years ago, 4 years ago in my adult life, that like, oh wait, I might have interesting things and experiences about myself that I can talk about. What? I don't think it's because I'm the most interesting thing to me. I think it's because I've seen this problem in myself often enough of not wanting to talk about myself because I think other people wouldn't be interested. And then I see that in a lot of other people. And I think part of it is like, I hope to like influence by example and be like, hey, it's okay to talk about yourself. That probably doesn't work. I don't consciously think about it too often. It's become a bad habit. But like, it's okay to be vulnerable and open and talk about these different things. And you don't have to be like reserved. I think I had an office mate. I had an office mate in graduate school. Let's call him Phil. Office mate in Phil. He was my office mate for like 3 years in graduate school. And like, I think he was the most boring human alive. Like, I tried so often. I went to a conference with him and we shared a hotel room. And like, I'm just trying to it's like pulling teeth to get them to say anything about themselves. Where I'm like, oh, what do you do for like a hobby? And like, oh, I read the news. Like, oh, anything else? Do you need anything else besides read the news? Like, oh, I just read the news. And just like, and I'm like, okay, do you have, maybe they have a hobby they're embarrassed about. And I'm like, I deeply understand that. And so I'm like, oh, do you have like, right, sometimes watch paint dry. It's like, oh, like I do these things like watch anime and play video games. Do you see anything like that? And like, nope. I'm like, anything else? Anything else, Phil? I'm like, do you cosplay? Are you a furry and you don't want to talk about that at work? Like, I am not here to judge. I genuinely want to know what you do besides like read the news. What does that even mean? What does that mean? This was like 2004, 2014, 2013. It was a different era. And so that deeply left an impression on me. Like, I do not want to be that person. I do not want to be that person in the slightest. And I had another coworker later on who was super boring as a person, and like same exercise, trying to pull teeth of like anything about what they liked. Like, everyone usually has something that they like to do. Like, you spend your time doing things. Like, I just want to talk about what you spend your time doing. Do you watch VTubers? Let's talk about your favorite VTuber. Tell me about VTubers. Do you play sports? Tell me about sports. Oh, Phil. I had another one. What was it even his name? I'll say John. I forget what his name was. Where he's like, similar situation. I couldn't for life me get any hobby out of him until like 4 or 5, 6 months in. We found out he's like, oh, I do LARPing. And we're like, oh, thank God. Thank God. He does LARPing. He might have something interesting. Like, oh, what do you LARP? Like, we're a bunch of nerds. We work at a game studio. Tell us what you LARP. John, and he's like, oh, I do Vampire Masquerade LARP, live action, like LARPing. And we're like, wonderful. Tell us about your character LARPing in Vampire Masquerade. Like, tell us about your vampire that you play as. And he's like, oh, I play as a regular human. And we're all like, dear God, how do you end up LARPing Vampire the Masquerade, and you still somehow ended up with playing a boring ass regular human? I'm like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Swear to God, it killed us. And we're like, this person is dead to us because they are so boring and not interesting. Like, we want quirky, we want funny, we want someone who like is out of pocket. Like, give us something to work with here, man. Oh, it was, I was gonna say I think about him sometimes. I honestly, really, truly don't think about him at all because there's nothing to grasp onto. I forgot what his name was. It's okay, he wasn't very good at his job either. That's the other part. If you're really good at your job but you're boring, like, I'll give you a pass. But if you're also not good at your job, man, that's tough. It's a tough way to live. Oh, I have thought about it. The niche stand-up comedy, very niche. Well, I don't like hearing sound in my own voice. I did have a fear of public speaking for the longest time because I think everyone has a fear of public speaking, death and taxes. Then I took a really, really, really good public speaking class in college on purpose. It was my senior year. It was like one of my only non-physics classes I took. There's one professor, a literature professor I really liked, and she was teaching a drama course on public speaking. And I'm like, I'm terrible at public speaking. I'm deathly afraid. But this professor is hilarious. She's wacky. She always wore like bright green turquoise alligator boots. She was great. 10 out of 10 professor. And so I took a public speaking class, and it was like one of the best classes I've ever taken in terms of professional and personal development. Because I got over the fear of speaking in front of large groups of people. And it has served me well over the years of like, oh, I got to talk to this meeting of 50 people. I got to talk in front of 100 people. And you're like, eh, whatever, wing it. It's fine. Except for the part where I talk really fast and I have a California accent where I don't pronounce the T's in my words or consonants and kind of slur things together. And everyone say mountain. How many T's are in the word mountain? None. There's no T's in the word mountain. Zero T's. What's the other one? The other one was garage, bagel, for sure. Santa Ana. Oh, Santa Ana. Oh yeah. Santa Ana, Santa Monica. There's no T. There's no T's in those words. Get out of here. Get out of your T's. Shoot. Sacramento. Is there a T in that state capital? No. No, there isn't. There never was and there never will be. And then talking fast and kind of slurring things together. Like, Sacramento. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the place. That's what they call it. I didn't make the rules. Seattle. Seattle's hard, Kai. Actually, there's two T's. If there's two T's in a row, you're like, fine, you committed to the T bit. I'll respect it a little bit. Not often. Because I don't have the spike ring, so lightly rural area. Rural. It was all vineyards and dairy farms. It wasn't really that rural. I guess I do Seattle. I do say it's a D, not a T. Damn. Who needs that letter? It's an extra letter. Yeah. No, Sanish? No T's. No T's in San. Oh, maybe there is. Maybe it's Sansnish, and I just like slurred it out. Oh my God, why is my... Oh my God, it's like... What's going on with the chat, but what's happening is every now and then it sorts all the YouTube comments and all the Twitch comments. I'm not pressing any buttons. I don't know what's happening. All right, let's draw a Chibi. We're gonna draw a Chibi. I've stalled for a good 45 minutes. Perfect. I can stall for more. Let's see what else I can stall about. So Chibi. kind of like, I want cry laughing. I think that was one of the chibis I wanted. So like, shit, what is it? What's my, I don't have a reference to the chibis I want to draw. You know, I'm not wearing my drawing glove. That's the problem. It does look like I just banned everyone from Twitch, which is not true. Some bug. That's fine. It just sorts it all of a sudden, drastically, dramatically, in a very disconcerting way. So I want like, I haven't drawn so long. Oh yeah, the gloves. Let me just look up this emoji I want. Da, da, da. Oh, I typed that wrong. Google made it though. Google figured out what I wanted. This is definitely not it. 3 fingers. Clear. There we go. 3-finger clear. It's kind of like a, the expression is like this, and it's like, teardrop. How can I cheapify this? The actual emoji has like a giant ass. Oh, it's a really big smile. The actual, like a big, it's like it does a teeth shelf. This is the terrifying, like the actual emoji. It's like this. Not a huge fan of that exactly. I want to make it like a chibi style, not a set. So if we think about that, for chibi eyes, I think the eyes like could easily just do like a just like sharper. Teardrops are going to be the tough part. We have my face shape, the chibi face shape, which is like, oh no, that looks. I suddenly felt very bad about that. Crying. I like the crying face. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Things. The inside of the mouth. We're just gonna paint it red. Kind of like the like this guy. Okay. Let's get rid of this guy and delete that. And then for hair, that's right. I probably should have looked at a reference of how my 90s style chibi art was done. I can just pull up on my screen here. Not that you can see it, but I can see it. Commissioned. Chibi. Chibi. How did this hair look? Oh, it's way more detailed. Looks great though. So it was kind of like a combination of two. It's kind of like there is still kind of like that. Hairlock and then go up like this. that I had it previously as well. Kind of have, there's a back of a head. I guess this is what kind of, okay, back of the head. Like this. Oh, not quite like that. Oh, chat, you did it again. What is going on in the stream chat? I need to make a note, look this up. Why is stream chat auto sorting itself? I'm not a huge fan. Like, I had to use a third-party platform to merge two chats together. And I wonder if there's like a better alternative. I would love to be able to do it just in OBS without having to rely on third-party. Because like they make their money by like, oh, get our subscription and get all these cool things. I'm just like, nah, man. I hate subscriptions. I hate subscriptions so much. Chat auto sorting. Chat auto sort bug. And the good thing is I have a I have a paper trail. I can check the VOD. Okay, and then we go here, and it's kind of like this, and then we have an ear. Come down like this. Side. On this side, you'll hear top. Get my little eraser here, my little eraser bud. Get some layering, overlap elements. It's pretty good. A little caterwonk in the back of the head there. Something like that. Pretty pleased something like that as a draft. Oh. The emoji sides would be like this. All right, decent. Drop that opacity down. So to redraw this, I think the first thing I would draw is starting with the eyes seems like the most how I get success, and then you kind of like freewheel the rest. Leave this as the head, and as we're going to fill later, we're going to go. Oh, do that step later. I'll do that step later. Okay. If I can see my mouse for a second, I could not. Then for the hair. Oh, you know what? I forgot to draw the. I think it's a little too much detail here, so I'm just going to skip some of the detail. That line did not make me happy. So it doesn't really matter too much in the detail at this scale. I just want to feel good about it, you know. I don't be like, oh, it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel sad. Kind of like that to find the back of the head. All right, ears. The ears were off. I think they were kind of like tilted a bit. So I kind of want to go. This ear. Same deal. I like, ooh, I like this curve to the ear. I had one of the early models. My ears were like more rounded, and it made me look more like a dog. And I'm like, absolutely not. I had no way wanting to look like a dog. Hard pass on that one. Like I had like a deep visceral, just like, no, that just feels so wrong. Oof. It was one of the few times I've gone back to like in the commission process and been like, this needs to change. Then ear fill. Yeah, no puppy ears. It was. Oh, you know, that's not. That balance is not good. It was like. It surprised me how it made me feel, like negatively. I think it's because I'm using a pen that's a bit more pressure sensitive. Look, other people can be puppy boys. That's on them. They can be dog boys, dog men, puppy boys, whatever they want to be. I will sit here and I will proudly say I don't care for puppies. I don't like kittens. Hard no. No. I think of dog, I think of just like, I think dumb. I think that's what it comes down to. I'm sorry, any dog VTuber out there, any puppy VTubers out there. Just dogs don't strike me as smart animals or clever, or I just don't like. I think I've seen too many people walking poorly behaved dogs that I'm just like, no. That's a hard no from me. You know, probably. Oh, I'm missing the crying emoji, the tears. But it looked like. Here, let me just demonstrate. It looked like these ears were more like. Why did I just not create a new layer? Why am I erasing it? Like if it's more like. Draw it. I don't know how to draw it, but it was like it was too curved and too soft. Here, for reference. Those are my actual ears on top of my head. I don't think it was. I think it was. Oh my god! I can't delete that layer. It was for the ears on this reference sheet. On the. It's like these ears here. I guess right here. They just came out too. They were floppy. They're just rounded at the tips. And it just, I did not care for it. I don't see myself as a round, soft personality. I'm very sharp and pokey. Need to get that in there in the right shape. Anyway, get those hood back on. My hair model looks a little wonky if I'm like leaning over. Oh my god, did that thing again. Why Streamlabs chat? Being a total. It'd be fine if you sorted Twitch first. Why are you sorting? Anyway, sorry. Any dog owners in chat? I'm just not a fan of dogs. I think. What the heck? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. I think it's just. something about dogs. Just to hit me in like, not for me. For other people, great. It's great for other people. If you want to be a Kenomini, oh god, I always forget the full name, but the Japanese style animal ear type VTuber, like pick the animal that speaks to your heart and embrace it. For me, it was either going to be fox or rabbit, were the two. Then I decided I'm too mean to be a rabbit. You have to face some hard truths about yourself. Its ear is off a little bit. Oh, that's way off. You know what? It's not off enough right there. I was trying the teary crying eyes. All right, now we're going to take all this. We're going to group it. Just in case, we're going to... Wait, how do you duplicate a group? You can't duplicate a group. Not duplicate a group. Rename, ungroup, flatten, merge down, combine down. I don't want any of those. I want... It doesn't really matter. Flatten. I want to duplicate before I start. Oh, there it is. Duplicate. Because when you start adding colors, like drop filling colors in, you can't edit lines very easily because you just can't. Because of like the anti-aliasing of the colors around the lines and how the fill works. I've tried it before and it never works, comes out like how I want. Is any other straight lines I need to delete here before I start this process? Good enough. Let's do some drop coloring here. Drop coloring. We're going to use my regular palette. Now we see if I actually drew independent shapes. Ah, god damn it! Don't do that. Not like that. Drop fill. Ear fill is this color. I'm done. I think I'm done this in a while. Wait, was that you fill that skin tone? Oh, the skin tone. The palest of pales. All worked. Mouth color. Here. Try this sand color. See how that looks. Oh, I used the color over here. What color was this? I have a canonical teardrop color. And then, can't forget, the teeth need a color. If the teeth don't have a color, then when I put it on an alpha background, it'll end up looking weird. There's a white. Take a look. There's a way to turn off. Aha! This is why I've learned to check. Also forgot my agao? Oh no, you can't say something bad. Oh, you can say something bad. Wait, no, wrong color. I want pale. Something. Was that missing piece? It looks like a hair strand. The eyebrow and that like little triangle looks like a hair strand. Ah, I forgot. Oh no, if those are eyes, that'd be terrifying. No, 100%. Oh, that'd be weird. Yeah, no, please. If I'm going down that route, definitely say something. I forgot to draw. Oh my god, why is that not black? Oh yeah, the weird zoom. Really big and exaggerated. And then you're just normal hair color. Oh my god, chat, I just saw you do that thing again in the corner of my eye. Why? Why are you having this? I guess I want to merge down. Something. Yeah, I was looking at like. I was looking at that. Let's see if I can edit this without make myself feel bad. Yeah, I was looking at like these eyes, the eyes themselves. Like on my draft, if we go back to my initial draft here, they were thicker here on the draft. So I think that's what I need to do. Filled in a little bit. Please convert. One emoji. Done. Take this guy. Is shrinking destructive or non-destructive? I don't know. Here, great. Is rescaling destructive work? Yep. Scrolling down is destructive. Always double check what is a destructive operation. I'm so used to living in vector space. All my like overlay work is all vector space. So whenever I'm in raster space and living that raster lifestyle, it's a tough transition to make. I'm used to everything being non-destructive in terms of editing and layering and things. I think that's why I like programs where you can define things with code instead of UIs. It's because code is non-destructive if you like version control and things. So you can always roll back things you did or like cherry pick different changes you've made. While when you're in like clicking around a UI to like adjust things, it's like once you're set, you are set. I don't like committing. I don't like the commitment of raster. All right, move you aside there. There you go, bud. All right, that was laugh, cry. There, I drew one thing. Put it on the screen there. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. Drink some water. I think what it was is I've been practicing or was practicing drawing my model. So like the model view of everything. And I realized like, that's just like, if I had to have a style, if I was going to go in a stylist direction, I think like chibi or like exaggerated low detail style is definitely the way to go. And now that I'm sitting here, this, but there's like little ignore that. We're gonna zoom back out. Zoom back out. Oh no. It's a destructive raster. Okay. There we go. That zoomed in. Oof. It zoomed all my work out of the frame instead of zooming me in. Okay. Perfect. Those little niggling lines were going to bother me at some point. All right, we're going to take you, move you aside, set you there safely, nice and safely. Delightful. Take a moment, stretch, check your posture, get nagged at by your watch. You haven't stood up and what are you talking about, watch? I've stood up plenty today. I in fact didn't sit It's fine. I can afford to sit a little bit longer. All right, let's look at my talk. Now that I got one drawing in, let's go back to my talk track here. Man. One thing I was going to check, I have a note here to say, check this before you start your next stream. I didn't check it. You know, maybe I can check it anyway. Maybe there's another way to do it. On this computer. The problem is the thing I want to check isn't on this computer. I might have to save this for another day. Let's go to my private GitHub. Oh no, it's gonna make me two-factor authenticate. No, two-factor authentication. Signing with passkey. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works, chat. Will a passkey actually work? Oh shit, a passkey actually worked for the first time in my life. Wow. There we go. Right. It was my journal anniversary. So I started a daily journal on 2013, 4/20. So this is my past Sunday. And I've been writing a daily entry since then, every day, or backdating if needed, with a target of about 500 words. And so as of Sunday, I've been doing this for 12 years now. Oof. That's a lot of writing. Okay. That'd be 365 days times 12 times 500 word average. It's like 2.2 million words written. All that slop, all of it prosaic, just what I've done that day. Sort of nonsense sometimes, but it's something it's gotten like, it's one of those things where I had to make a conscious effort to do it every day. Like, I gotta get this in, to the point where I've done it for so long now. If I don't do it, I feel deeply, deeply unsettled. And it's mostly most of the time it's like, oh, what happened during the day sort of thing. But I was finding that like, if I ever wanted to write about deeper topics or like deeper feelings or emotions or blah, 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 that like, there's a lot of lift to like go into something and write one entry every 3 weeks that are just like all like sad boy writings. And so by writing every day and having the habit every day, there's a moment there taken aside for that introspection and that reflection every day. And so if you need to talk about something in a journal, there it is. You're already there. You're writing about how your workday went, how the social engagement turned out, how your stream went that day. But then I'll talk about that in a second. If you need to talk about like, I'm feeling bad, or I'm worried about this, or like, here's some, like, I've had these like thoughts about my career, or like this friend relationship, or my long-term partnership. Here's some cracks I'm seeing that I'm starting to worry about. You have a place to write that isn't like one time writing super sad, or like starting a Tumblr account and posting sad gifs waiting for someone to ask you how you're feeling. And yes, that's why I'll leave at some point. You can 100% see patterns in behavior. Some of us have written a machine learning script to get sentiment and writing topics out of our own journals and plot them and track how they change over time. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to point hands at who would do such a thing. Who would use the techniques from their profession and their job to analyze their own journal writing? I couldn't imagine. And delight in watching, like, seeing the rise and fall of different topics. And you can be like, oh wow, this 3-year bump is the topic related to this job. This 6-month bump is related to this project I did. This 5-year bump was this relationship. And then seeing how they rise and fall, or like, oh wow, this like, why is this topic that I write about happens like once or twice a year? And you're like, oh, that's related to visiting my family. Or like, oh, this topic is about traveling to Japan. I think I have one topic that's just like, it's Dark Souls. It's like Civilization and Dark Souls. Like that's the topic. That's the recurring theme. It's like, it's a through line for the past 13 years. So it's I'm not sure I've gotten any actual insights out of it. So much I hate that phrase. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. Be like, what have I been writing about recently? What are some words I'm saying often? What words are being said together? It's kind of what it gets you at there. And it's one of my favorite algorithms out there. I can have a whole entire chat stream like, let me teach everyone about latent to reach rate allocation and how to do topic modeling. Haha, haha. Oh man, I did some sick ass projects with it. I'm so proud. Like, I think most of my career success has come down to this one application of this one algorithm. Great. It is Vibe Insight. And you're like, wow, whenever I talk about this person, the other words that come in are unhappy, feels bad, stress. And you're like, let's get that a little bit more. Or like, I say the word coffee every day. And you're like, let me just ignore that word. We have put that in a word junk pile of like, that is a meaningless dribble I just will always say and always write about. I haven't done it in a while recently, so there's probably a VTubing one that has shown up, if I had to guess. But it's interesting to see like the rise and falls of different hobbies, different trends in different games or activities, or things that happened like... Chat was very cute today. They were so funny. They were the cutest and funniest chat that I've ever had. Except when the chat twitches out and resource itself for some reason. But it's definitely, I can definitely see different friend groups that have come and gone over the years. It's interesting. It's interesting to look back, not read what I wrote. Oh, no. I will never read what I wrote itself directly, but I will check like the overall sentiment and topics and I go through it. Until you get like, until you're traumatized and you're like, only look at journals from post-divorce. Please exclude all words associated with this X from the sentiment analysis. I don't want to see them. Unless you do that. I'm not sure who would do that. I can't imagine a person who would do that. But I'm sure they're very funny and cute and handsome. Sneering to myself. It's how I live most of my, honestly, it's how I live most of my life. And honestly, you know what? I recommend it. I recommend chuckling and laughing at yourself because you're stuck with yourself. My own entertainment. When given a microphone and a VTuber model. All right. That's one of my talk items here. Let's cross that off here. Gotta keep... My microphone's on my right side. I'm right-handed, so I keep hitting it. Let's see if my tea is left. Get this hibiscus tea and lock in. All right, so that was my web drawing. What other emoji do I use a lot? I use a lot of worried emojis. I've realized looking at this list. I try a worried emoji. The problem is there's a lot of side eye. And if I just like a side eye emoji, it's kind of like a big big color. Finance and like money is one that comes in, and like budgeting. That's another trend that comes through. God, I did it again. I'm pretty confident it's not a button I'm pushing myself. I just want to suffer through it. I have a bug report written here down that I'll file later. Well, it only shows on screen. Twitch, in the Twitch UI itself, it's fine. So, you know, there's that. Just not the one I'm looking at. So side eye, worry side eye. So you're saying like big eyes. fan. No, look at that. No, look at that. That was terrible. That was awful. I need to look up what the emoji I want looks like. So one of the things you get so used to typing and using like the word colon to find emojis in Discord, you start trying to use it elsewhere and you're like, why doesn't this feature work? And you're like, oh. You know, I can't do that frog. That one's not gonna work for me. It's still plus on a word in Google to make like force it to be part of the search. Is it quotes? I can do a different one. Problem is several involve drawing hands, and I'm like, I don't want to draw hands. I want not like Mia. That's what I want. What's the basic? I almost find it good, like, take the original meme emoji or react, and then find the essentially covers people have done of it, of like, oh, here's a Hu Tao version. And then from there, see like what elements actually make the emoji, like what are the key design parts, and then copy that over. Okay, here's not like Mia. 100 pixels by 100 pixels, perfect. Oh man, that's a toughie. That's gonna be a tough one. More. Oh, she's her negative reactions. Except laugh cry. The problem is it's like, if I was draw the head, kind of like, the eyes are like this. Kind of like, it's even more mythic. That's not the eraser. Facing downward, which is like not, it's more like this, it's more like this. It's just a mess. I've just made a mess. We're gonna cover this. The 3-finger clear mode, the gesture I'll get one day. So it's kind of just like, I don't want to trace, but it's like this. It's going to be the eraser. Animated wobbly way. How big's my head? How big is my head? What a question to ask. My eyes aren't big enough. The problem with this mode, the problem is like immediately, it's just hands. There's like a cuff sleeve here. And yeah, it's like it's behind the head. That, and then I, in theory, have some fox ears on here. Sketch. I mean, if we ignore a lot of the proportions, and if we ignore a lot of everything, too far from the mic. Move that closer there. I've been having a problem with the mic pickup. I switched from using one mic software to the built-in one for OBS, and it has been a little bit harder on the pickup. And something I've needed to look into. Yeah. There's some setting that I need to adjust, and 1 second. Discord decided to get off streamer mode. I don't know which mic property or filters that is. It's got the noise gate's off. Noise gate's off. Noise suppression, it could be the noise suppression, to be honest. Honestly, it's probably the noise suppression. Let me see if I just drop that down to like 30. The problem is, like, I want the hum of my desktop to go away. A little bit more. It's probably noise suppression. Come on, noise suppression, drop to 0. That's all I ask. I'll turn it down a little bit and see how that goes. Yeah, this is where the not wanting to listen to myself comes in. I've also moved the mic, and I move my head a lot when I'm drawing, so I get close to the page compared to like chatting or playing games. I almost want like a tiny little screen of, oh man, like essentially 2 little screens underneath my main monitor would be great to have. One with like chat in it, and then one with like my audio stuff, so I don't have to like look at my second screen on my left to get that information. How much tiny screens? Me saying, oh, I have too many things on my desk, I don't want to spend money, and me, I'm like, what if I got tiny screens to put chat in? So they can't be that expensive, right? Like a tiny little USB screen. Under monitor screen. Under monitor screen. The problem with using an old mobile phone is I wouldn't be able to use it as a monitor, so I'd have to do something weird thing to like open up to get the display properly, versus getting a like, honestly, it just needs to be like a 4-inch little screen, like a little kickstand, like USB. I'm out of USB ports. I don't want to run more cables. This might be a nice idea that I'm not going to execute on. Maybe when next time I move and I can like make a permanent sort of office setup and commit to some like better cable management. I was thinking about this today. When hooking up my iPad, I have to climb under my desk, go to my desk to switch the capture card from my Switch to my iPad. And whenever I do that, I have to face the underbelly of all my cable management choices. And it makes me deeply wishing I had a permanent solution, so I could like, I have a power strip that's very precariously hanging that I wish I could just like bolt onto the underside of my desk. That involves a certain level of like, I have to really say like, I want this here. and I want to go through the effort. And my deep fear that if I drill into my desk, it will collapse and explode. Because it is a it is an old bamboo desktop from IKEA, and I've already drilled into it once before to attach a new set of legs, and like it definitely felt like you're drilling through like a 1/4 inch of bamboo, and then I hit a cardboard center, and I'm like, oh no, this feels very insecure. So part of me is always worries every now and then. I'm like, oh, my desk isn't very solid. I don't know what the weight capacity is, but it's not infinite. I can tell you that much. One day maybe I'll improve that and get a cute little screen, set things up better, get a better charging solution in place. One day. All right, so let's see. New layer. Who is? So I think to get this emote correct. Also, one problem about making emotes is they need to be square, and so my ears often shrink down the rest of things. I gotta like cut the ears off. I'm sorry, self, for cutting off your ears. So if we start the hands and draw the cuff, I should be drawing cuffs. What am I doing? I mean, I do have cuffs. I think I should be drawing my cuffs, not the. What do my cuffs look like? They're kind of big. And then it's kind of like a big sleeve. And then over here, we got a cuff. Oh, I know. That's how it always goes, isn't it? You like your cable bandage, everything's going great, and you're like, I got a docking station with my new controller, and you're like, no, not like this, not like this. It was all perfect. Fortunately, it was never perfect, but oh man, yeah. One minor change does everything destroyed. Like I need to move one USB cable in. The extra wrinkle I have is I have all my most of my peripherals are going through a KVM switch in my monitor, because my monitor switches between my desktop and my work laptop. So like there's only a couple USB ports in use on my desktop. It's mostly my monitor that's super overloaded with like USB ports. It's got a USB hub dangling off of it. I think the only things going direct into my desktop are like my phone, because I need the high bandwidth for the AR capture for streaming. The monitor. I think everything else runs through my monitor. And the fact that my monitor is a key piece of, it's like a central point of failure. My entire desk setup is this Dell monitor. Doesn't keep me up at night, but like some days I think about it and I'm like, oh, this is a fragile ecosystem I built here. Neat. Okay, we got a cuff. Oh my god. Okay. So sleeves like this. Oh, don't do that. Just do a smooth line. Okay. Got my big sleeves. Hands. Not hands. Reminds me, as a kid, we had a family trip to Costa Rica, as you do, I guess. And we were at the Arnall volcano, covered in fog. You can't see it. It's what it's known for. And there was kind of like so bad. Thanks for joining the stream. There was a little, like almost like a thumbs in the back of the head, right? Yeah. You can't really see it though. Wait a second. The thumbs in the back and shouldn't be visible. Like there's a bunch of Cayman type alligators on this display, And there's a sign that said, keep Hans away from. And I think about that every now and then. About who was Hans and why did he need to be kept away from these alligators? I'm sure they came up, I think, so I think about drawing Hans here. Oof. Aha, almost got it. There we go. Hey, not the worst, not the best. Doesn't make me ashamed. I'll be honest, very few things make me actually ashamed. For better or worse. This is gonna be, the rest of this hand is kind of gonna be behind the head. This should have been 2 layers. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, so we have the bottom of the face. It goes to here, and then it curves up. Oh yeah, that feels better. And then we're going to have the eyebrow lines like here. I think my eyes are too low. And just too small. Halfway through a line, like sudden panic. And then we have worried eyebrows. Oh, no eyebrows. Bad. Not great, but not bad. I'm just gonna make another layer here for the eye. This is much more complicated than I thought it to be. And then, how's my hair go? It goes. Like this, and then we go. Burp, 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 burp. And then we need the top of the head to go. So that's grabbing the top of my head. The hair needs to come down. Kind of like this. And then the same on this side, it's gonna go up. Oh. Over, and then just connect that in. There we go. And then top of that. So the back of the head should be bigger for this. So we're just going to draw it out. We're going to draw it out. It's going to be. I mean, of course, we're going to draw it out. That's what we're doing. So see, like this hand here. Should be grabbing. There should be some hair. Like this. Right, in order for this hand to make sense over here. And then we're gonna go top of the head in. Now the ears. Here's the challenge. I don't know how the ears are gonna fit in here. That's my deep challenge, my deep unknown, the deep curiosity. I don't know how the ears look in the back of the head. I have a reference sheet. Let's look at the reference sheet. Dear reference sheet. Oh, wrong layer. Okay, kind of like, that's what I thought. Okay. back, move that back, hide it again. So there's kind of like the ears are kind of like start here. And right, his hand is grabbing the ears. They're gonna be like here, they're gonna go whoop. Kind of like let's have that like little fluff. Some fluff over here. I need to take off this, turn off the back layer now. It's getting too messy. And then we delete. That's not the delete. Erase, I guess, is the word. Erase, erase, erase. Not. Oh, this gets erased. This gets erased. Go back to that head layer. Do some cool like cleanup here. It's not like it's better than it has been. Yeah, I'll stick with it. All right, let's just, I think. Okay, I gotta redraw all these lines now. No worry. This is gonna be easy step. Also, let's double check here. Okay. I'm sure music is still gonna play for a bit. All right, new layer. Who this? So we're gonna start with. Man, I feel like I did a good job on these hands. I gotta redo it. Oh, you know, I need to drop the opacity so I can see where I'm drawing. Group all these. New group. Flatten. Drop the opacity. There we go. Here we go. Do I want to start with the hands? I have to start with the hands. It's going to be shrunk down. It looks somehow so much worse. There we go. Cool. Except this, then we got a sleeve. At the back of the head. And the sleeve comes down. Draw the sleeve. I think the mic pickup falls off when I'm like, my head is like in the iPad. I'm like an inch away from the iPad, so of course my mic drops off a little bit. Then over here, we're gonna do the same thing. And sleeve, stripe. I'll do some deleting later. Feeling panicked, may delete later. Okay. Perfect, and then we're gonna do the ears. I don't want to draw the eyes yet. Come down here. Like that, nice neat line. perspective might not be perfect. And then over here, drawing these quick little lines here. I might do the eyes in a separate layer now that I'm like, yeah, pretty good. Let us erase. I need erase. Oh no, that looks. There we go. New layer for the face. Mouth like this. Eyebrow. Remember that same problem? We have this little isolated triangle right above the right eyebrow. See how this looks. Perfect. We're gonna stick with this one. I don't like this section right there. Like there's no differentiation between these layers because I didn't do it right. Like see how all these lines are converging in one spot? Oh, it looks weird now. It's fine. Got the bottom of the sleeves here. And then my sleeves have stripes on them. Verify my stripes. Group all. Yeah, I'm gonna duplicate in case I need to make changes. Flatten. Okay, let's get some colors in here. First off, hair. Oh no. I have to clean up my lines first. Quick line cleanup. Any other lines that are just gonna haunt me? They're gonna haunt me for days. I think those are the main ones. Okay. Nope. This is a tough fill. You know what I'm gonna do? It'll be zoomed out enough, but in the back of the head here. Then we've got the front hair. There we go. We've got this hair down here. There we go. Next up is ear fluff. Ear fluff. 1, 2, skin tone. 1, above the eyebrow. Nope, that was a weird outline. That was a literal line. 1, 2, 3. And then mouth fill. Pop. Eyes. Let's see, here's my iris. It's kind of actually a gray color. Don't ask too many questions. Just don't question it. Just don't question it. And then the iris is a green. I like this green a lot. And then the sleeves, you know, I can just stay zoomed in. Clothes. These should be this color, I think. Pretty sure those colors are. Let's see, we need a inner blue dark for inside here. Why? And the outer layer is going to be the lighter blue. One light blue. One light blue. Your blue to here. Your blue. Your blue. Then you are white. You are white. You are white. I'm going to take this pen here and make sure that this is closed off. And then I need to go back here to this blue and fill this in. I normally don't have solid lines between the sleeve layers, but that's fine. Oh, I didn't draw any fangs. Let's check our background. Check our background. I don't think I missed anything glaring. Did I color these teeth in, by the way? I did. Okay. Background color. I do want a little tooth, though. Let's draw a tooth. So to draw a tooth, I need black to start with. There we go. That's gonna be, whoa. Well, first off, merge down. It's gonna be white. Okay. Perfect. Ha! I'm gonna call this one done here. Woof. Turn this off. Turn this off. Beautiful. Look at that. 2 emojis. Not like Sanish and laugh cry. Add them to the collection. I did draw. See, I did draw. I just procrastinated for a long, long time. Oh, I'm not gonna export on screen. Exporting on screen opens up my iCloud, which has like my name in it and everything. There's uncanny resemblance. Clearly me. Haha. I think that is my main goal, is draw 2 chibi emojis for various usage in the future. I'm going to export these and save them. I talked about most things on my list. I'll save some things for later. I'm glad you had a very productive chance. I'm not sure why this message didn't show up in my apparently lightly cursed chat window. Sus. So trip did. I'm glad the music helped, and that the emojis turning. Thank you. I need to turn out well myself too. Finding my niche drawing, which is emoji versions of myself. Did I use the right color? One second. Did I use the right color here? Yeah, I did. Okay. Have one of those, like, you start at the same color palette too long, your eyes start to like blur a little bit. I almost talked. Let's see, got most things on my list to talk about. I'll save some for later. We'll talk about an anime convention I went to over the weekend, cosplaying about it, and that whole experience. That might have to be just a straight up chatting sort of venture, and not a chat while I'm ostensibly trying to do something sort of venture. But we're gonna. Oh. Come on. Nope. There we go. So, gonna wrap things up here. thank you everybody for joining, for chatting, for asking questions. I enjoyed it. I enjoy these chat streams. Probably want to do them more than once a month, but I think I've just had like some weekend plans that block things out, and then games I wanted to play, and just other busyness, busy facets of life coming through. But I think I'm entering hopefully a calmer period of socially booked out activities. I'll see though. I'll see, because I do enjoy streaming and I want to keep doing it. And it's just a matter of making time and making sure I still do things like exercise and feed myself healthy food and cook dinner. And like work my job, like those pesky things. I have a stream tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm going to go boldly check, and I realized I didn't actually post a Blue Sky about the stream like I meant to. Womp womp, womp womp womp, womp 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 womp. That's fine. 10 a.m. stream tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific time, where I'll be finishing, I better hope, finishing Ender Lilies, and then potentially playing another game, depending how fast I finish it. I'm not sure if that'll be just streaming some Monster Hunter, me starting Oblivion Remastered, because I really want to start Oblivion Remastered, or whether or not I'll just chat and stream early. I'll figure it out. We'll do it live. And so I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. I hope everyone likes, subscribes, comments, clips, shares, blah, 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 blah. And I will otherwise have a great weekend. I'll see you the next time I stream. And with that, bye-bye, everybody.